CWPA Remote.
Hi, I'm Ed Hawes, the Director of Communications for the Collegiate Water Polo Association, and this is CWPA Remote. Joining me today is Coach Yuval Grossman of Cornell University, and Andrew Triscari and Christabella Forest as well. To start this thing off, why don't all three of you explain a little bit how you got into water polo and how you got to where you are today?
Okay, so maybe I can start. So I'm originally from Israel, and when I was back in high school, I was playing back in Israel. And since then, actually, for the last 40 years, I've been playing water polo. And I moved to Cornell as a physics professor in 2007. And when I moved to Cornell, I was very happy that I was able to actually get involved in the water polo club there. And after a year or two, I became the coach. And since then, that's what I've been doing. And I'm having a lot of fun doing it besides my physics teaching.
I've been playing water polo since I've been around 10 years old. I got into it first because my older brother played, and he also actually played at Cornell, so that was part of the reason why I ended up at Cornell. And yeah, just love the sport and love the friends that I've made just while playing it.
Yeah, I joined water polo because I was swimming for a couple years since I was 7. And then I joined because I wanted to experience more with aquatics. So I started in high school, played in a couple junior Olympics here and there, and then wanted to continue it during college. So.
All right. Well, the men's team has won 4 New York Division championships, and it's been an 8-time runner-up, including the last 5 years. And the women's team has won the division title 5 times and is a 4-time runner-up, including 2019. How do you maintain that level of excellence in both men's and women's water polo, which isn't an easy task considering some of the teams you have to play in the New York division?
Ooh, it's a tough question. Since I'm at Cornell, I think we are always struggle. And I think we are lucky that we have a very friendly team and people really like to come to practice. And once people are happy and excited, then it's push you up a little bit. And I think that's part of the reason.
Yeah, I think going on what Yuval is saying, he's being very humble. He's definitely a massive reason why both teams are very successful, just the way that he kind of coordinates everyone to come to practice, just make it better with great drills and just having it not just be about, like, obviously having it be very competitive, but just also a fun environment allows for more and more people to actually come join the team and just get better. A testament to him and just being a great coach and just making people have fun, like, while they're there, while also getting better.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, I can say the same as well. Yuval has been such an amazing coach. He's been incredible in a way that, like, no other coach I've ever have experienced through before. He has basically included every single person who's come on to the team, no matter what experience you've had. And it really says about his personality and how much passion he has for water polo. So, yeah.
Oh, all right. Thank you. That was just for this. It was worth the interview just to hear that.
All right, the tougher question now. Who have been your biggest rivals in the New York division, and what games have you looked forward to the most playing against teams in your division?
For us, it's definitely been Army. We've played them in the championship game the last 3 years, and unfortunately, we've gotten second place, including last year losing by 1 and the year before 2. So we're always very competitive with them, and I always look forward to playing them, both in the regular season when usually it's not as close just because we're not as in good shape as they are, because they're obviously training and always in great shape. But at the end of the year, just that last championship game we've been in the last 3 years have just been, like, all great games. And just I hope for next year, my senior year, if the season actually happens, hopefully, that we'll be able to play them again and hopefully win this time.
Yeah, for the women's, I think our biggest rivals have been Columbia, NYU, and Hartwick, especially Hartwick considering they did move a division. and they are really good. But I think we really practice a lot, and I think like all the girls really love putting all our effort into like, you know, consistently working through everything and through all practices and games. And so those have been our biggest competitors.
Yeah, I agree.
Easy answer from you.
Yes.
In terms of an athlete that we're looking at schools, what advice would you give someone who's looking at Cornell, both as a water polo player and also as a student?
Obviously Cornell has a great prestige as being one of like the elite universities in the country, and whatever program you're in, it's obviously one of the best around. In terms of like sports, I think for water polo itself, it's a very like, but we know that it's a great university and that it's a very rigorous classes. So if you have to miss a couple practices because of you have exams and stuff like that, it's very forgiving with that, and Yuval's always very understanding about that. But so it gives you that kind of competitive side to club where like you don't need the full commitment of a varsity team, but it's also many good players who, although they may be able to play on some varsity teams if they wanted to, they want to play this club because they don't have the time to fully be able to commit 100%. So it's just a great balance of being very competitive, but also understanding that college is a time for you to get a great education, and you just have to balance the two.
Yeah, so I definitely agree. Go ahead.
Right. So let me say that, you know, I put my two hats on as a professor and as a coach. And many times when I advise like freshmen who are not water polo players, I always give them this advice that when you come to Cornell and you have to work hard in your classes, always remember that you have to put the other side of some physical activity to make sure that you are in shape, and it's really helping you. And I always give them the example that when I was a student, I was always go to practice the night before the exam, because after practice, you're actually more relaxed and you can go on. And I think our players in the club, they have a very good balance between how much they put into sport and how much they put into the academics. And we always work with them together to make sure that they have both sides.
Yeah, I definitely agree with everyone saying about work sports balance. I actually was choosing I was actually going through a recruiting process for water polo, and I was wondering whether or not, like, I was deciding whether or not I wanted to play I wanted to fully commit to water polo nonstop and kind of like have it overshadow a little bit of my academics. But I found Cornell, especially having a club, to be like the perfect way to have or to play and do something that I'm passionate about, as well as like really focus all my have my attention on my academics as well. So having that balance is perfect for me.
All right. One final question. If you had one piece of advice to give to yourself, something that you know now that you didn't know before, what would that be? If you had to look back, what was one thing you wish you had known?
Ooh.
That's tough.
It's a really tough question.
For me, I guess, since obviously in terms of water polo, definitely I feel like we kind of, as overall as a team, we kind of don't really, not that we don't take it seriously, just the first couple of weeks was definitely like nice and easy. You don't really think about how competitive it is. And by the time we get like the weeks before championships, we're really ourselves hard to catch up with teams like Army and that may be better than us at the time, and have to kind of play catch up to because they usually are in better shape coming into the season. Just telling myself just to like make sure that going into the season is like that same 3 weeks at the beginning of the season for like upcoming years. So just to make sure that we're in good shape going into the year so that we can go straight into like the very competitive, being in good shape, getting the best, so we can get like the best possible time out of practice, because there is limited times we can get everyone at the same practice just because everyone has clubs, they have exams, they have night classes. So it's very hard to get everyone together at the same time. So instead of having to like get in better shape at those practices, if everyone's already in shape and we can just work on whether it be plays, drills, stuff like that to really increase like just the way that we play together and just be better as a team, that's definitely something that I think I keep telling myself, and hopefully next year we really can do that and be in good shape. Yeah.
For me personally, I've had a lot of like inner struggles. Like I'm very competitive. I always want to try to strive to aim higher and do as much as possible. But sometimes it's hard. Like I feel like I'm not capable. I think like for me, especially as a water polo player, when the adrenaline and the high of being in the game, I kind of get a little impatient, and I just have to kind of tell myself and calm myself every now and then. I have like the support of the team, I have the support of Yuval, and everyone else, and just learn patience a little bit when it comes to competition. So that's what I
All right.
It's hard for me to think about. All I know is that after every game, I look back and say, why did I take this time out? Why did I put this player in and not this? And it doesn't matter if we win or lose. It's always coming back. And I said, I could have done better. And I try to improve for the next game. And I really hope that I'm able, and you know, with years, I am a better coach. I didn't coach before coming to Cornell. I just started coaching back then. I was only playing until then. So it's a learning process, and definitely being a coach, not the same as being a player. You have to do a lot of other things. But we are learning. So I think overall we are happy there. And I really enjoy being, you know, the water polo part of Cornell, which is my hobby part. It's not what Cornell is paying me for. It's definitely something that I enjoy really, really a lot. And that's a good thing.
All right. Well, we'll end it there. Thank you again for doing this. The league membership appreciates it. And, you know, hopefully the men's season and the women's season for next year kick off. So
we really, really hope so.
Thank
you very much, Ed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.